right, let's just dive in, shall we? First things first, as a makeup artist, one of the biggest problems I see is people with red faces and white necks. That's totally me. So what I like to do is I use, and this is the Saint Tropez self-tan, this brush right here, which is the number 90 by Sephora. And I just put some on my brush. And I love this because it lasts forever and you don't have to worry about your neck, and I just make my neck darker. And I like to do a semi-permanent contour with this a lot of the times too. And what that means, so I'll actually contour my face with self-tanner, go to sleep, and then my face is contoured for like a week. And it is so nice. I don't even have to think about it. And I just look like amazing when I wake up. And it looks blotchy right now because, I mean, I just put it on. So when you wash it off, it's perfect. And do you see all of a sudden how my face is lighter than my neck? And that's kind of where you want it to be. Because you know when you put any amount of makeup on your face just tends to look darker than your neck. So here we are, have a floating face. Let's move on to the world's most insanely just amazing primer. This is J1 Jelly Pack. And I get it, focus, damn it. There you go. I get it at Sephora. So I have really, really oily skin, and it is insanely hard to get anything to stick to oily skin, especially when you have like oily nose. And it actually acts like a glue. It makes your makeup stick to your face. So if especially, there's just a select few of us out there who notice, who have oily skin and have like a shinier nose because the texture on our nose is so slick. We can never keep makeup on our nose. Those of you who know what I'm talking about know who you are. Those of you who've never heard of that think I'm crazy right now. But there are some of us with oily skin who cannot keep makeup on our nose, and this works. Game changer. My favorite foundation of all time is the L'Oreal True Match, and I used to work at Sephora. I've tried everything. I love a few other things, but I love, love, love this foundation. You can build it up to where you want it to be. Now, it comes in, this is a W3, W is for warm, comes in a W, N, and C line. How you decide what you are is you look at the veins in your wrist. If the veins in your wrist are green, then you are a W. They're green because under there they're blue. You have yellow skin over that, and so yellow plus blue equals green. So that's how you know you have a warm skin tone. You have a neutral skin tone if the veins are blue, and if your veins are purple, you are a cool skin tone and you would get the C line. So I'm using a W3. I don't know what number it goes up to. I'm not sure how dark it actually goes, but this is a W3. And how I do it for myself, not for my clients, but is I just put my finger over it and dot it on my face. There you go, I'm officially all dotted up. So the key to amazing foundation is you don't put all the product you think you're gonna need on your face at one time and then smear it around. You build up in gradual layers. So you put a really fine layer on, you blend it out, and then if you want more coverage, you build up from there. And that's how you'll get foundation that actually looks like your skin instead of it looking like you painted your damn face. But do you see how amazing that coverage is? And that is a freaking drugstore foundation. But what I like is that you get the amazing coverage without feeling like you have amazing coverage, you know what I mean? Without your face feeling super guck. Is there another word for it? Just guck. Just like covered in makeup and gucky. Alright, so now that we have that down, we're going to use our concealer to highlight the face. And not just under eyes. We're going to start contouring the face a little. So where you want the eye to be drawn and you want to appear prominent, you're going to highlight, right? So like our under eyes are usually sunken. They're like here. We want them to appear here. And so we're going to contour. So I just fan out in that shape right there. Same on the other side. And I have a very flat forehead, which makes it appear very tall. So what I want to do is just bring attention right here to the middle. How I'm going to do that is kind of make this section right here more prominent. Like that. My nose is very crooked. When I was a kid, I ran face first into a tree. And I grew up with brothers, so did I go to a doctor and get it set? No, I just kind of straightened it out, prayed to Jesus, and went on playing. Really wish I had that taken care of back then. Since I get this baby born, I'm going to fix this nose so fast. Okay, so just a straight line here. Because my nose curves here, like out, like it is going east for the summer or something. So we're going to draw a straight line like that. That's going to make it appear more straight. Okay, so also I want my chin to appear thinner. Okay, so I'm going to start wide and come down here just like this. And you can see already without even blending how that does make it look thinner. So I'm just going to take a beauty blender and go in and blend all of this out. And whenever you're blending these kinds of highlights, you want to stay right on top of them. You don't see how it's lightest right here. You don't want to drag this out here. If this whole area was super, super light, your chin would appear huge. And I'll show you in a second. I'm going to use a contour powder actually here on both sides to bring it in a little bit more. So I'm going to blend my under eye, staying right on top of that contour. Or a highlight, not contour. You just blend it up your cheekbone. Your cheekbone is prominent, it sticks out. If your cheekbone isn't prominent, this is a great way to make it appear like you have lifted cheekbones. Right here. And for those of you who are interested in like filler and Botox, as soon as I have this baby, I'm going to take you to my appointment so you can see what I do to actually get symmetry in my face using things like Botox and Juvederm and fillers. So you guys can see what that process is like if any of you have been curious about it but didn't know much about it, didn't know how to learn about it. I'm super excited to do that video. Yes, natural beauty is great, but I also like synthetic beauty. I have no problem with that. I just love, what I love is just confident women, right? And a confident woman who feels great about herself, whether she can feel like that naturally or needs a little Botox to help her. A confident woman is amazing. She's unstoppable. We shouldn't judge that ever. We should support that. We should support anything a woman needs to do to make herself, you know, feel powerful and unstoppable. And honestly, for me, that is things like makeup or injections or hair. I love that kind of stuff, and that is my passion. And it's not everyone's, and it doesn't need to be, but I just believe in not, you know, judging anyone if that is their thing, or if your thing is all natural, that's awesome. Just you do you, boo, you know? You do you. Just gonna get the shit injected out of my face, but you do you. Okay, it's really important to stay right on top of this nose contour or highlight. Damn it, I keep saying that, so annoying. It's so crooked. Lord help my poor little nose. Okay, so at this point, if you have dry skin, you can get away, honestly, with not setting it because your skin's probably just going to suck all the moisture out of this anyways. And you might look a little chalky if you set it. But for those of us with oily skin, what we want to do is bake the T-zone. Usually when you have, some people have oily skin like out to here, but the average woman, I would say, is a little bit more combination. So really oily through this T-zone area and then a little bit drier out here. So if I were to go over my entire face with a setting powder, a colored setting powder, what would happen is that everywhere we just did that light would just blend with everything else. and you would lose that dimension that you just worked so hard to get. So I like to use this powder. It's by RCMA, which has awful packaging. It's like a spice container, so tall and skinny and you can't get down in there. So I just pour it in the lid, put it on my beauty blender, and I'm just going to go over those areas where I put that highlight. Oh, and I think I forgot to tell you, this concealer is the NARS concealer. It's in Custard. Radiant Creamy Concealer. It's amazing. I look like Scarface right now. Okay. So I'm going to, right here, and remember it started wide and then it came in narrow. And because I'm 30, Jesus, I'm 30, I'm gonna really bake this. And so if you have lines right here and you find your makeup is always settling into those lines, it's easy fix. You just do this. Or if you have lines under your eyes, easy fix, you just bake. Basically setting all that cream in place so it doesn't get to move and it doesn't get to travel down into your creases. I'm really oily around the base of my nose, so I'm gonna do this. And then I like my jaw to appear more prominent. So I just go like this. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this powder, and the same thing applies with this. The same thing applies with everything, I guess, except for baking. You want to just use like a tiny bit and even tap off your brush and build up to the coverage that you want. Okay, you can see how it stayed lighter in those areas where we baked. So now we have this blank canvas that's kind of obliterated of all the shadows, right? So we had this face with all these natural contours in it. It was like darker here and darker here, and we've lost it because we put this all over. So what we want to do is go back in and just rediscover these areas and find them. For my nose, I contour with a super tiny brush. Any kind of blending like crease brush will do. And this is the Anastasia contour kit. I think it's medium, and so it has these shades in it. Okay, so this one is a medium shade that's kind of warm. This one is a more neutral shade, and this one over here is super warm for when I'm tan. So mostly, because I live in Utah and it's just always freaking cold here, I live with these two. So you always want to use a neutral shade in the middle of your face. So I'm going to make this nose appear straighter. I gotta stop looking. I keep doing that, looking down. I just don't even know how some of these YouTubers do these videos, because they straight up just do their makeup like this. They're like, how the are you doing that? I'm like, in the mirror. But okay. So now I'm going to try to get rid of this big hump over here by drawing a line straight down. And it's not an exact science and it's not perfect, but it does help if you have a really deviated nose to do that. I mean, mine is deviated like clear out here. I'm telling you, I ran like face first into that damn tree and my nose was like on the side of my face and I was just like, oh, and kind of like, and then continued to play tag with my brothers. So yeah, that's tough. I was so tough. I don't know what happened to me now. With this smaller brush, there's some smaller areas I like to contour. So you lose this little area right here. But do you see how that makes your top lip look pouty? Like brings that back. And right under my lip to make it look more pouty. And then the rest I will do with the world's like best contour brush. So this is by NARS. I have no idea what it's called, but it is amazing because it's flat. And so I just dip it in these shades. And when you contour from your cheek, you're contouring from the top of your ear down towards the corner of your mouth, but you do not want to go past the corner of your eye. So just like this. See? How you do a really good contour right here is you want to make sure it's darkest back here and then it fades to lighter. So you want to lay down when you do it most of your color right here, then drag down the rest here, and then you flick it up. I have people ask me all the time, like, why their contour is so harsh and crazy, and every time I look, it's just because they didn't flick up and they just have like a line on their face. And so when you flick up, you're incorporating that shadow up a little bit. Just like that. If you ever contour too harshly anywhere, it is such an easy fix. You just grab your powder brush and you blend out the area, usually with just whatever's left on your brush. And so to bring a little bit of depth back to my eyes, I just put it on my eyelids and then under, and then in my temple area. So if you have a very tall, narrow forehead, you just want to contour here because it will bring down this part. If you contour here, it will just make it look even more narrow, right? Does that make sense? So with me, mine's kind of tall and wide. So I like to contour here at the hairline and out here on the sides, just to make it look shorter and a little bit more narrow. So I like to do this kind of far in, and then take a darker color, which is that darker one for when I'm tan, and put it just right here at the hairline. So it's a gradient, so it's not just one color. So then it's darkest here, and it fades out. Okay, so now for the chin, I'm just gonna do dark here, and here. Okay, I'll blend it. I'm gonna do it kind of harsh so you can see. Do you see how that brings your chin in? That is awesome. I'm going to bring just whatever's left on my brush, I'm not going to redip, just over my cheeks. That's where the sun naturally hits, so it'll just be a little bit more natural than like this here and this here and this here. You know, it's just kind of incorporating everything. Okay, so now that I have done that, I'm going to move on to... Okay, so true to Murphy's Law, the damn camera cut out right as I started to tell you about blush. So I'm wearing blush now. So how you apply like super perfect blush is you build up to it. Just like the laws of makeup that I've been talking about, you want to build up to the coverage you want. So I just dip once, and you apply most of your color right up here on the top of your cheekbone. Then blend, so you stipple it on. You're placing the color, then you're blending the color you placed. And then with whatever's left on your brush, you're gonna go down to the apple of your cheek and bring it there. And that's how you get that gradient flush where it's darker to lighter. Most makeup looks best if it's in a gradient, okay? So this blush, darker to lighter. This contour, darker to lighter. You never just wanna like throw on a color and call it a day. And especially with blush, you wanna make sure that you're holding your brush just like down here a little bit more and not up here. Whenever you're holding a brush, the closer, this is called the ferrule, the closer you are to the ferrule, the more pressure you're gonna place and the more product you're really gonna lay down. And the farther away you are, the more fluffy and airy something will be. And so for blush, you really wanna be fluffy and airy. So you do this. Then I love, because blush replicates like a flush of blood in your face. That's what it's replicating, is like the flush of blood under your cheeks. If you want to look really supernatural with whatever's left on your brush, just bring a little here, a little on your nose, and a little on your forehead. And I like to bring it on my eyes too. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this off, do my eye makeup off camera really quick, because this is really just about face makeup. I'll do another video for eye makeup, and then I will come back and we will finish up. All right, so eye makeup done, lips done. I'm just gonna do two things. I'm going to add highlight from the Anastasia Contour Kit using my favorite highlighting brush of all time. that just walked away. Here it is. So this is the Y14 by Morphe. I like it because it is long, but not very dense. So it lays down an almost indetectable amount of color. If you've ever used a highlighter and you have like a streak going across your cheek, yeah, that's because the bristles are packed too densely, so they're putting down too much color. So I like to put that highlight there, right here on the bridge of my nose, and above my Cupid's bow, and a little down my chin. And not all highlighters, just that one, because it's so nice and soft that you can get away with putting it like actually on your face. Some highlighters, like Becca, I can't put it on my face, like I look crazy or like a disco ball. It's not good. So then my favorite finishing spray is Matte Finish by NYX. And so you just spray that all over. This is such a great way to take all that powder down a level so that it blends with your skin and so that it looks like your skin instead of a bunch of powder. I mean, I don't know if that really shows up on camera, but no longer is it super powdery. Now it's just blendy and yummy. Anyways, this concludes this video for how I do my foundation and my contour and my blush, just like my face makeup. Stay tuned. I think my next video will be the eye makeup look that I did. So feel free to subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will be linking all these products, but I would love to hear from you, suggestions on videos, how you liked this video, constructive criticism. Now, constructive criticism isn't, oh my God, that bitch is so fake. That's not constructive. Constructive is, oh hey, turn down your lights because I cannot see the nose on your face. That is constructive. Anyways, I love you all, and yeah, just stay tuned. I will be back with another video very soon.